We are with Roger Bloodworth, Tomek Adamek trainer. Roger, when you start first time with Tomek, when you first time saw him in Houston, if you can tell us about the changes in his style and how Tomek changed as a fighter since you took over his training regimen.
Well, actually, I started fighting with Thomas when he was last December, just before the Estrada fight. I worked with him for about 6 or 7 weeks, and I had to go to New Zealand. When I first started with him, he had a very European style. He was straight up, and he moved mostly to his right. So, you know, first thing to do was to get him moving both directions, knowing how to control the ring with his movement, and you know, get in and get out without getting hit. Now we're getting to the point where he's changed even more, and we're working on his defense, offense too, but defense, relaxing more so he can throw more punches without getting tired. He's coming along pretty good. I'm very happy with his progress to this point.
Tomek is saying for a long time, but especially since the last 2 fights, that he feels like a natural heavyweight, like somebody, not the transplant from 175 or 200, but the natural heavyweight. If you can give me your perspective about what he means saying this.
Well, I think he's talking, you know, like his bone structure. If you look at him, his wrists are very thick. He's got very thick legs. He's not a big heavyweight, you know, like he's not 260 pounds, but he's not a fat heavyweight either. And you know, I've watched since last year, when you move up in a weight like that, it takes your body a certain period of time to adjust to the new weight. By what I mean is, at 220, he has to develop a little bit more muscle, strength, and stamina to compete at that weight. Whereas when he was only at 200 or 175, he didn't have to have that much muscle. So it takes a while to complete the changeover to heavyweight.
From the beginning, when we start talking about Tomek development as a heavyweight, you got the idea to not rush the things up. You always were a proponent of giving Tomek at least 2-3 fights. Even before the Michael Grant fight, to just get him ready for the big boys. And you're sticking to this opinion that Tomek is a guy who is developing as a heavyweight, or like we talked before, it's more like now fight by fight decision what to do next?
Well, he's still a work in progress. You know, I mean, every fighter has things they can learn, but he still has some things to learn. And right now, I base my opinion on how he performs in each fight. You know, each fight he's been getting better, he's learning, and we'll see how he looks in this fight, and then we'll make a determination.
Vinny Maddalone, almost exactly a month from now, we are talking on November 6th.
December 9th.
December 9th, but we are on November 6th, so we have almost a month, sorry, more than a month until the fight. Special preparation, why Vinny Maddalone? Some people are criticizing the idea, saying you cannot be prepared for Klitschko brothers fighting somebody who fights completely different style.
Well, you know what? The Klitschko brothers might not even be there by the time we get there. I think that's one thing. So I believe that you have to develop your fundamentals extraordinarily well to be an extraordinary fighter. So that's what these fights are about, is for him to go through a learning process. It's not just to prepare for the Klitschko brothers, you know. Although hopefully that'll happen, but it'll happen at a time when he's ready.
American boxing, you don't see a lot of great American boxers, but like we talked before, still, if you want to learn the craft from the best, you have to come to America or get the American trainers. You agree with this opinion?
I think right now that's true. If you look at all the good fighters, even though they may not be Americans, they're being trained by Americans or they're training in America so that they can get sparring. Having said that, you know, I think every country, even this country, doesn't have a lot of real great trainers left. There's a few, but not a lot of them.
Do you feel the pressure of being coach, trainer, confidant, and friend of Tomek Adamek, the most famous Polish boxer, and you know, everybody has a great hopes about him being a heavyweight. Do you feel the pressure, or when you guys talk to each other, it's just Tomek and Roger?
I don't feel the pressure because you know, this is his job, this is my job, and you have to be able to lock the pressure out, you know, and you have to be able to ignore the negative comments that are made and just go ahead and work on what you know has to be worked on and teach him to go to the next level. And you know, like I said, I'm very happy with his progress so far. We'll see how he performs in his next fight because Vinny Maddalone, people underestimate fighters. You know, like they said, Michael Grant was nothing. That was probably the best fight Michael Grant fought in the last 10 years. He had a good trainer, Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, who I think is one of the good trainers, did a good job on him. So Vinny Maddalone is going to be in the same position that Michael Grant was in. This is his opportunity. If he can upset Thomas, he can take his place and make some money. So I know he's training hard. I honestly don't know who's training him. So I fully expect him to come and fight a hard fight. People forget he's only lost 6 fights. He's a big boy, and he doesn't quit. When you hit him, I think he made the statement, he doesn't think the fight starts until he sees his own blood. You know, so he's going to come to fight, and it's going to be a different type of pressure fight for Thomas. But he has to learn to handle those types.